Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah.
What's up, Internet, and welcome back to Nth-Level Entertainment, the most awesome series, comic book, and movie-related YouTube channel in South Africa. I'm Z the Entertainer, and welcome back. So today we're going to be reviewing Crisis on Earth X Part 1, the Supergirl episode that came out about 2 weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to actually shoot a review on it because I've been busy with other things. So I thought that since the CW is on break at the moment, I'll take the opportunity to actually review that series. So Crisis on Earth. So Crisis on Earth X. Wow, that was quite awesome. I mean, okay, look, last year's Crisis was pretty good. It wasn't even called a crisis; it was just a crossover. The theme was heroes versus aliens. Now, in this story, we saw the Dominators come down to Earth to actually, I think it was an invasion of the Earth, and they were trying to take over the Earth's leadership and whatnot. They were taking out the president. They were kidnapping, and we found out that there was historical reference to them in terms of our Earth's relationship to these aliens. They had come down in the 50s before, and there's some sort of a peace treaty or something like that was struck between them and certain, like, black ops, shady government individuals in America. People like, well, not the CIA, but people that, like, are above the CIA, people responsible for Area 54 and whatnot. Area 51, sorry. Can't talk today, I don't know why. But yeah, so it was based on that in the beginning. And the criticisms that I had on the original version was that the first episode, which started on Supergirl, um, didn't have much of the crossover in it up until about maybe the last 30 seconds of the episode, where Cisco and Barry show up in Supergirl's apartment to tell her about the impending doom that they're facing. And only when we got to the Flash episode was there a lot more, crossover elements to it, like in terms of characters from other shows being there and things like that. So this one started beautifully right off the bat. In the very beginning of Supergirl's episode, we see everybody being introduced in their own universes as to what they're going to be doing. And this comes right after the opening scene, which shows the Nazi version of Oliver Queen, the Arrow, taking out scientists and certain employees of, like, some sort of government institution or think tank. There was some sort of precious object that they were protecting that Oliver was there to get, and we see an awesome action sequence with him taking out the guards, taking out the scientists. He even fights that version of Guardian, and I haven't seen Guardian in a while. Anybody who's seen my channel before will know that I'm a big Jimmy Olsen Guardian fan. He's just badass in that show, and so we see a version of him fighting Oliver Queen. He loses, of course, but the choreography of the fight itself is just absolutely fantastic. We see him eventually get killed by Oliver Queen, and then after that scene, I think it rolls over to the other universe scenes. So that's when we see like everybody basically getting ready for Barry and Iris's wedding. It's like a roll call of all the different shows. We see the Flash fighting King Shark in the beginning, and like the CGI is just amazing on both characters. We see Supergirl fighting a Dominator, which is a callback from the last crossover. We see the Legends playing out a scene of Robin Hood, not many times. Sorry, Robin Hood and the Merry Men, back in the Forest of Nottingham in England, back in like feudal times or whatever it was. And then we see the Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, fighting like a group of ninjas, while Felicity's talking to him over his earpiece about the wedding. So in all of these different scenes, everybody's actually talking about this wedding. So that was a nice start off to actually let us know that this time around, every show is going to be fully invested in terms of story into this crossover, which was great. So that's how it opens, and then all the characters get together. We see all the girls getting, like, beauty treatments, getting their nails done and stuff like that. It was pretty dope seeing Felicity interact with Supergirl, with who else was there? I think it was Felicity, it was Supergirl, it was Caitlin Frost, Killer Frost, sorry, Caitlin Snow, It was basically all the females. Yeah, oh yeah, and Iris, of course, was there as well, and they were basically like getting beautified and whatnot. And then we move on to Barry and Oliver having a pre-wedding talk. Basically, they're fitting suits and stuff like that, and he's talking about how he's got cold feet, and Oliver's trying to like calm him down, and then the conversation reversed. Barry begins the one who's giving him the talk about finding his one true love in Felicity, and how they should get married. And then Oliver's saying, he says stuff like, I should be the all-knowing mentor here in this relationship. So that was pretty cool. It was nice to see that as a mark of the growth that these characters have had since they started. Tables are turning, so on and so forth. There's been growth in Barry and Iris's relationship. Barry's the one now giving Oliver talks and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. It was a great episode in that also the budget seems to have been raised a bit for these crossovers. Like it looks like when these events come over, they treat them like their own standalone movie kind of thing, and they take them a lot more seriously. Like the effects are so much better. The CGI is so much more realistic and fluid, and even some of the action beats, it looks like the choreography is that little bit much more intense than what it usually is. So from there, we move on to the wedding. And just as Barry and Iris are about to say their vows, the wedding is crashed by the Nazi versions of themselves. Right? We see their version of Supergirl, which is called Overgirl, who comes in and totally incinerates the priest as he's about to say, "I now pronounce you man and wife." And then the fight breaks out. We see Vibe getting into action. We see Alex, Supergirl's sister, one of my favorite characters on that show. She gets into action alongside um, uh, the White Canary, Sarah Lance. So, and yeah, we see a great fight scene in that church with them. We even see Oliver and Vibe actually teaming up with Cisco. He actually sees the Archer at the one of the balconies in the church. He's busy picking out wedding guests and stuff like that with his arrow. And then Cisco vibes him up to that balcony. And as he exits the Vibe portal, he actually shoots an arrow at the evil Oliver Queen. That was beautiful. So, and then we see a fight between Supergirl and Overgirl. It takes up into the skies. Um, we see Joe getting involved, shooting Nazis left, right, and center. So it's only when Supergirl takes out the evil version with a Hulk clap, sonic sound clap, who would have thought, that they actually retreat and go back to their home base. So the team then retreats and tries to figure out what's going on and this and that, and they're talking. And then at the end of that episode, we see the evil team get together and now strategizing and bickering amongst themselves. And it's revealed that their version of the Flash is actually Eobot Thorne, Reverse Flash from Earth One, and he was from season one as well. And he's wearing the not the Eobot Thorne face, but the Harrison Wells face from season one. So that was an awesome twist in the whole thing, and yeah, it was pretty cool. We even meet their version of Prometheus, who happens to be Tommy from season one, Oliver's friend who died. So it was a pretty awesome one. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, like it really shows that the showrunners of this DC Arrowverse, as people are calling it, are actually taking this material pretty seriously and trying to make it better. And it's actually evolving very nicely, even in the way that they write their stories. So that'll be it for now. What I'm gonna give this episode as a rating, let's see. I'll give it 4 swastikers out of 5. I don't have much to rag on, about it, but other than the fact that maybe just because it's not a big budget movie, we didn't see the kind of effects that you would see in a movie, but it was a pretty good effort nonetheless. And so that'll be it for my part one review of Crisis on Earth F. Why do I keep doing that? Crisis on Earth X. That's it for part one of that review. So please stay tuned for part two. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of this episode if you've seen it, or what you thought of my review on it. And if you enjoyed this video, please click on the thumbs up icon and leave us a like. And please subscribe to see more content, and make sure you hit the bell icon to be notified each and every time new content comes onto my channel. As usual, people, stay awesome, take care of each other to infinity and beyond.
Turn these zeros into tens and commas. Bitch, I'm ballin', ballin'. Closing $1 million deals.